I've just been spending some time with Poppy, who's my cousin's little daughter who's got Rett syndrome. She's 5 now, was diagnosed when she was 2, which is fairly common. Rett syndrome tends to affect little girls around their second birthday. They get diagnosed, mainly due to development slowing down. So no walking and talking, and lots of uncertainties around what the condition might be, and a long process of hospital visits and tests to finally get a diagnosis. I remember I'd heard about Rett syndrome first, interestingly, from a visit we had from the father of someone who's got Rett syndrome in the area, a young farmer's visit, a young farmer's talk. So until that point, I hadn't heard of Rett syndrome. And then we had a talk from Greg at Young Farmers, and we learnt more about it. And this was before Poppy was diagnosed. This was probably a year or so before. And then hit home really when Poppy got her diagnosis. I think I was on the plane actually to New Zealand to shear for the first time in New Zealand, and heard the diagnosis, and obviously it brought it home. That was 3 years ago now, and Poppy's doing really amazing. Obviously she can't walk, she can't talk. There's a lot that she can't do in terms of what we would consider, you know, normal functioning, and what we probably take for granted. So for me, a big motivator for this record attempt is through my training, is thinking about what Poppy goes through on a daily basis that I can just kind of take for granted, even if, you know, at the end of a big day shearing, or for whatever reason you've got various aches and pains, you know, you're doing what your best to work within those limits and push yourself. And I'm able to push myself more now, sort of spending some time with Poppy, realizing that she's got, you know, severe scoliosis, problems with her hips. She, you know, she has a standing frame that she has to be in half an hour every day. She's having hydrotherapy a lot, and her mother explained that she's just been able to support herself in the water for the first time, which is really amazing. So her strength is building up. So for me, you know, I'm going to the gym every day, and it's kind of easy really compared to just the daily routine of a little girl with Rett syndrome. So part of the fundraising for me, a big motivator, will be raising as much money as I can for 2 charities, the Farming Community Network, and today I just want to raise awareness of Rett syndrome. It's World Rare Diseases Day today. So I will just introduce you to Poppy. Hi everyone, Marie here. I just wanted to introduce you to Poppy, my cousin's daughter, who's got Rett syndrome. It's World Rare Diseases Day today, and I wanted you to just meet Poppy and hear a little bit about what Rett syndrome is. Tori, do you want to tell us a bit more? This is Poppy.
This is Poppy.
Victoria.
Poppy was born and everything appeared to be completely normal, which is the usual course of things with Rett syndrome. And it was a long, slow process to get her diagnosis. Basically, it's a genetic disorder, a neurodevelopmental disorder, and due to a faulty gene, basically the brain doesn't work properly. So Poppy is left with a very severe disability. She isn't able to walk or talk and has very poor hand function. So it was obviously quite a shock, but we're working hard.
3 years down the line.
3 years down the line, we're doing really well, and it's support from people like Marie here that keeps us going.
So what have you got here? This is can you come around this way, Daisy, when you're filming, and we'll just explain.
So this is a new technology, and there's an eye gaze bar, and Poppy uses it to begin to talk to us. So we're learning the system between us, but we do all kinds of talking on here, don't we, Poppy? Should we read this book, Pops?
Amazing.
There we go. This is one of Poppy's favourites. Poppy, is this one of your favourite books? One of your favourite books? Here we go. The Scarecrow's Wedding. Are you going to
listen?
Mummy's going to turn page. Then I'm getting her in the standing frame and things. Sometimes you'll just help me, won't you?
Okay, so tell us about the standing frame. We're going to use that in a minute, aren't we?
Okay, so Poppy goes in the standing frame at least once a day for a minimum of half an hour, because it's what physio advises us to do. So there is a bit of concern that one of her hips is starting to slightly dislocate.
Okay.
So children that aren't mobile, their hips don't necessarily form properly. The ball doesn't go down into the socket as it should.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which then leaves them, due to obviously Poppy's got poor muscular tone, it leaves her basically they could dislocate at any point.
Okay.
So one of them has started to migrate slightly. So along with all her other physio, going in a standing frame is something we do.
Okay, so maybe we'll just pause for a minute and then we can get Poppy in her standing frame and explain how that works a bit. Okay, Pops, time for your standing frame. Great. So this is Poppy's standing frame, Tori.
Standing frame, yeah. So Poppy goes in this for about half an hour to an hour every day.
Okay.
Sometimes more, depending on how much physio we've done. But the idea of this is, obviously she's weight bearing, which is good for her muscles. And due to the concerns with her hips and her spine, the more that she can be in this upright position is better to try and prevent further scoliosis and dislocating of the hips. Basically.
Okay. And you're having x-rays? Is she having x-rays regularly?
She's having regular appointments and x-rays every 6 months to a year.
6 months, wow.
Yeah, so this is just part of our
daily routine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't mind going in there. She looks pretty happy.
Actually, we tend to do different activities with her.
Yeah.
While she's in it, or if we're busy, she watches a bit of TV or talks on her eye gaze. But she quite likes it.
Okay.
You're happy standing up nice and tall, aren't you? She's floating in the water.
So what are you doing today?
So today Poppy's going out with her PA. She goes out with her once a week, and she's going over to her regular hydrotherapy session. And it's very exciting because we had a bit of a breakthrough recently. Poppy's been going to hydrotherapy since she was about 16 months old. She's now 5, and it's only in the last month or so that she's managed to start swimming without being supported by her hydrotherapist. She's still got floats, but she's swimming completely independently.
That's amazing. So her strength has been building.
Her strength has built up to the extent
so she can hold herself.
And it was just an amazing moment when it happened, and we were all in tears.
That's incredible.
Very proud of you, Poppy.
Yeah.
All the physio and all the hard work and all the swimming is paying off, isn't it? It's building your muscles up, because her tone was so low. It's a lot of effort for Poppy to do anything. So any progress is just amazing. You're amazing, aren't you?